I don't know. I had an opportunity to visit the crematorium of Sir Ravi Shankar, and it was like I don't know. I never had an opportunity to meet him personally, but I can see the vibration of him through all our mentors, including I heard a lot of about him from Sai Prasad, K.S. Naveen sir, and I at least thought I should not miss the last of last darshana of Ravi Shankar sir, and I just took his blessing and came. So it was quite a sad moment for us that we lost a mentor, because he's an inspiration to all of us, no doubt. But and he will always remain. Physically, we have lost him, but the way he has contributed to the society and to the nation, I think it will be remembered. And with that note, I will start the topic on this GST Appellate Tribunal. So it's not exactly what we have planned today is not to discuss on the provisions, because as we are aware that it is yet to be, there are certain procedures which are yet to be notified, yet the GST Council is yet to be constituted. But just a brief background of that we had a earlier provision, and then this provision got amended with the benches. So I'll just go through in brief, because what the topic today will be more on our practical issues which we have faced after this commissioner appeal orders, and what are the issues which we have been drafted by the other consultant, and then it has come to us during filing of tribunal. And there are many other practical scenarios which we can discuss today. So before that, as we all know, there was a ROD which they have stated that the time limit to because recently Sanjay Mishra has been appointed as a president, so there was a doubt that whether the 3 months will be counted from the date when he has when the president has entered the office, or it will be from the date when it is notified. Because if we read that ROD which has been issued in 3rd December 2019, where they have stated that the time limit to file the appeal was 3 months from the date of communication of the order, or when the president will of the tribunal is entered the office. So the prescribed time limit to make an application to the appellate tribunal will be counted from the date when the president is going to enter the office. But again, there was a circular which has been issued in June 2023, where they have stated that it is the day, I think it is not June 2023, it was in December 2023, that is where they have constituted the principal bench, and they have stated that it will be from the effect when it is notified in the official gazette. So I think that was a notification which was issued in 29/12/2023. So we have to wait for the notification. From that date, it will be 3 months from the date of notification. So this is a one background I just would like to add. And now next is, I will just run through this tribunal provisions. Most of us would have read this. So how this tribunal will be constituted. So basically, whatever the orders we are going to receive from the commissioner appeal or the revisionary authority appeal, against it, the appeal can be filed to the appellate tribunal, which is known as GST tribunal, GST appellate tribunal, and it will consist of principal bench and state bench. And principal bench will have a judicial member, technical state member, and technical center member. And the state bench will have a two-member, that is, one is judicial and one is technical. So this is what the constitution of the appellate tribunal. And the state, if the matter is relating to the place of supply, then that will be heard by the principal bench. And if the issues are other than the place of supply, then it will be heard by the principal bench and the state bench, as the case may be. And if the quantum is below 50 lakhs, that is, if the tax or ITC or the fine, fee, penalty, whatever it is, does not exceed 50 lakhs, then, and it is not having any question of law, then it can be heard by a single member bench. And in other cases, it will be by one judicial and one technical. And if there is a difference of opinion between the state benches, then it will be referred to another state benches. Otherwise, if not, then it will be taken to a principal bench. And if the principal bench differs, then it will be referred to another principal bench. This is all the administrative procedure. And there's a transfer of members between the benches. That is okay. Then the act of proceedings, you cannot question if there is a vacancy or defect in the constitution of appellate tribunal. So these are the certain aspect in this tribunal constitution. And there are procedures, I think, that we will not go as of now. They are vested as a civil court, all these are there. Then basically, I think this is the last fact-finding authority. So it will be, it will have the same powers as are vested in the civil code, and it will be lawful to send the execution of orders. And they have to file the order. This all I have taken. The time limit will be 3 months from the date on which it is communicated. The applicant has to make the pre-deposit of 20% plus 10%, which is already been paid as a pre-deposit. So here also there is a lot of discussion which was around to understand how to look into this 20% of disputed tax, because there is a certain drafting, what I can say, there is some drafting error in that section, because the section treat it as 20% of disputed tax in addition to the 10% of tax paid. So the issue was, in case if the order is partly favorable in the case of commissioner appeal, so whether that to the extent of pre-deposit to the extent of favorable order will get adjusted against this 20%, or is it like in addition to that 20% of disputed tax has to be deposited. So I think there is some lacuna in that provision, and we believe that it will be amended later with any provision added to that section, or possibly they might amend a certain wording in that section. Then if the pre-deposit is paid, then the recovery, we'll get into this recovery proceedings little later, because there is a recent circular, and I just want to point out certain things in that recovery proceeding circular. And if the appellate tribunal can refuse to admit any appeal, if the amount is not exceeding 50,000, then they cannot admit the appeal. So there's a quantum which has been specified. And I think APL 5 is a appeal form which has to be filled, and all these details are there. And you're going to get acknowledgement in APL 2 itself, even in the case of GST tribunal. And a memorandum of cross objection, that is why the department will be filed in APL 6, and all this has to be authorized as specified in Rule 26. And as we have seen that there is no fee when we are filing a commissioner appeal, but when we are going to file an appeal to the appellate tribunal, the fees will be 1,000 rupees for every 1 lakh rupees, or the input tax credit, or the difference, whatever it is. The fine is the fees has been determined, which we are very familiar when we are filed the appeal to CAT also, and subject to a maximum of 25,000 rupees. There shall not be fees for the application for rectification of errors. Then the date of filing will be the issuance of provisional acknowledgement if the hard copy is submitted. So if hard copies, we have to just wait and see how it is going to work, whether it will be with the online portal along with that manual filing will be there, or it will be only online filing. I think we have to wait and see how it is going to get operative. Then the once the case is admitted, then you are going to get APL 2 indicating the appeal number. And the final order will be issued in, whether it is by appellate authority or appellate tribunal, it will be in APL 4 itself. And they will be granting an opportunity to hearing. All this will be there. The appellate tribunal can allow to add or include the grounds of appeal if it is satisfied that their omission was not willful or unreasonable. So this is also one more thing I thought we can discuss when we are having issues, when we are going to discuss on certain issues. And the hearing can be adjourned for maximum 3 times. I think this we have to be very careful now, because earlier we have seen that we have gone for multiple hearings, multiple times we have asked for the extension. But I think this time has to be extended, especially in the case of tribunal, because this is a last fact-finding authority, and they have to give the extensive time that we have to wait and see how it is going to work in the case of appellate tribunal. And the appellate tribunal can confirm, modify, or annul the decisions of order, whichever is appealed against. And they can remand the case back to the appellate or revisional authority or the original adjudicating authority. This power was not there with the commissioner appeal, but first appellate authority, but this power is there with the appellate tribunal to remand the case back to the adjudicating authority or to the commissioner appeal or revisional authority for a fresh adjudications, or after taking additional evidence if necessary. And appellate tribunal also have the power to rectify any error which is apparent on record under 161. And with the rectification, they can enhance the assessment, or they can reduce a refund. But only thing is they have to give an opportunity of being heard, and they can complete the proceedings and conclude within 1 year from the date when it is filed. I think this is also one more aspect we have to understand, because we have seen that can we challenge that if it is not completed within 1 year, because the similar provision is there for first appellate authority also, that it has to be concluded within 1 year, but they have used the word as if it is possible. So there is a conditional, if it is possible, they have to complete within 1 year, otherwise it can get extended. So I don't think so we can challenge on that 1 year aspect. And they have to send a copy of every order to all this appellate authority, which generally happens to the revisional authority. Whoever are the parties to that order, all that has to be sent to the respective department. And then filing appeal, I think we have already we have to give the reference, all that is there. Time limit shall be within 6 months. All this is by the department, condonation of delay. So this is from the department, I'm not taking out. And this is a provisions which are there in the erstwhile also, and production of additional evidence before the appellate authority or appellate tribunal. This we have to be, because this is our last fact-finding authority, and we have to be extra cautious to understand the case, and to see that what additional grounds, what additional evidence we can add. Because if you read Rule 112, it says that they cannot produce the additional evidence other than the one which are produced before the adjudicating authority, except in the following cases. So if you read this cases, uh, it is very widely has given that where the adjudicating authority has refused to admit the evidence. So we have to prove that we have filed the reply to that notice, but it has not been admitted by the respective authority. So we have to evidence that we have made an attempt to produce evidence, but it was not considered by the appellant. By the authority, or where the appellant was prevented by sufficient cause from producing the evidence which he was called upon to produce by the adjudicating authority or appellate authority. So because of any genuine reason, he was not able to produce the evidence, that also can be tried to bring out as an additional evidence, or which was relevant to any grounds of appeal. For example, they were supposed to give certain certificate, but they were not able to give because of some genuine reasons. Then they can be produced before this appellate tribunal, or the adjudicating authority or appellate authority has passed the order without sufficient opportunity to adduce the evidence. So without giving any opportunity of being heard, or giving a notice of, say, 3 days in one notice, and saying that you have not produced, so we have passed the order. So such kind of orders, we can just refer this Rule 112 and try to produce additional evidence before the tribunal, and try to take it as an additional grounds. And no evidence shall be admitted without recording the reasons. So we have to also give the reasons why we are going to file this additional evidence before the tribunal, and what was the reason for not filing at the earlier adjudication. And it is a discretion of this appellate authority or adjudicating authority. They will also examine this evidence, whatever has been produced before the tribunal, and they may accept this evidence, or they may deny this evidence which was produced by the appellant before the tribunal. So I think these are the certain things I will not take into much. So this I've just taken from the point. Now I will just come to we have to wait for this things. Now let me go to the next recovery circular, which has been issued recently. Is it visible, sir?
We are seeing the Word document.
Word document.
Yeah.
Are you able to see this recent circular, which has recent instruction?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Yeah, most of us would have read this. So before going into this recovery proceedings, now the first issue is in case already the commissioner appeal order has been passed, and there is a demand which has been created. Now the issue is whether the department can go for recovery immediately, or whether they have to wait till the constitution of appellate tribunal, or what is the further course of action. I think this is what the issue which is revolving around to all of us today, when we have already received a commissioner appeal order. So just I will go into one or two aspects, because most of us would have read here. If we read this recovery proceedings, one issue I would like to make out here is 3.3. If we see here, it is further, I don't know whether it will get challenged, or whether it has to get accepted. I just want to understand why this para has been added here. It is stating that jurisdictional principal commissioner shall provide the specific reasons for asking the taxable person for early payment of the said amount, clearly outlining the circumstances promptly such action. Such reasons should include high risk to the revenue involved in waiting till the completion of 3 months due to apprehensions that the concerned taxable person may close the business operation in the near future, or due to possibility of default by the taxable person due to his declining financial conditions. Because if we have seen in the earlier erstwhile law also, or possibly we have seen that there is a provision where the law has allowed you to pay the tax in installment due to your financial condition, then if you are able to see the circular, and we have also seen that in earlier decision where the pre-deposit also was getting reduced or the stay because of the financial condition. But now if we see here, the recovery can be initiated even if it is due to declining this financial condition. So even today, if the demand is created and if the recovery has to be made, even I cannot give the reason of that there is a financial condition due to not a stable financial conditions. I think this is one thing which has to be looked into, sir. So anybody would like to add to this, sir? Yeah.
No. One, we have to keep in mind.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Jatin sir, your voice is feeble. Sir, not able to hear you.
Invoking 73 takes away the right to limitation available under 107(1).
Okay.
Now, when should 78 be invoked is, there is a confirmed demand.
Yes, sir.
Party may become insolvent and may not file appeal.
Yes.
So therefore, declining financial conditions, impending insolvency, etc., are some of the illustrative reasons why Principal Commissioner must exercise the power to recover earlier than the 3 months permitted to take action under 79.
Okay.
Therefore, the declining financial condition is not a reason not to collect. The declining financial condition is the reason to collect fast because the demand is now confirmed.
Okay, sir.
With confirmed demand, if the fellow is financially not very stable, then waiting for 3 months means more risk to recovery. So these are the exceptional reasons why it has to be collected fast. Giving installment is for what? Giving installment is for undisputed arrears.
Yes, sir.
But if the party files a letter stating that he wishes to file appeal further, they should not invoke 78. State officers, wherever they're invoking 78, after this circular, should be applying brakes to all this recovery action. Because see here, Principal Commissioner, not even less. Principal Commissioner should give the specific reasons as to why 78 must be invoked. Here CTO is invoking 78.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So no, this is very good circular. No further clarity needed.
Okay, sir. Okay. Only otherwise it was good, sir. Only this part I was
This is the most important part.
Okay.
Basically, it says only Principal Commissioner rank officer should take this decision.
Okay.
And that decision also should be based on specific reasons taken on record.
Okay, sir. Okay.
You don't file up. If you don't file appeal, I'll recover money fast. What is the meaning of this?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And connecting to this, now the second issue is, sir, with regarding to this 20% pre-deposit which has to be deposited before this Karnataka Appellate Tribunal, because there is no instruction, there is no circular, or there is no notification which is giving us the mechanism to make a pre-deposit. And in general, it is understood that it has to be paid through DRC3. That is a...
No.
Yes.
APL 5 is the appeal form come pre-deposit challan.
Yes, sir.
So this DRC3 is just an invention of the CTO.
Yes, sir.
So if you pay through DRC3, APL file may still ask you to pay 20%.
Yes, sir. So I think we have to claim this refund.
Yes, you have to file. You should first file letter saying that deposit should not be demanded.
Yes, sir.
And if still it is being insisted, but you are not willing to go to court,
yes, sir,
make this deposit, file refund application, because you don't know when your matter will get listed in tribunal and get disposed of.
Yes, sir. So this is one aspect, sir. And second aspect is many of them have gone to court and they have not pre-deposited. So I think in that case, they were so the best preference. Most of them are preferring wherever there are higher stake is better to go to the court rather than getting your money blocked in paying this additional 20%. This is the one course of action which is going around.
But
And
many have gone to court and got into trouble because court has given direction to pay
yes, sir.
10%, 20%, 30%,
Yes, sir.
whatever they felt was necessary.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I think it is advisable to pay this 20% and keep the matter pending
No,
till
no,
the
why pay 20%? Circular 132 is very clear that limitation itself does not commence.
yes,
When limitation does not commence to file the appeal, how can limitation somehow commence for making pre-deposit? Secondly, when APL 5 is the form for making pre-deposit, how DRC 3 can be the substitute for it?
because the practically we
No,
are able to see that they are initiating this recovery, so they are
no,
attaching.
we are tightening the screws, sir.
Yes,
You have to fight it. You have to go to
Yes.
court, and how many writ petitions you have come across where GSTN has been made a party to the writ petition, asking them to allow APL 5
yes.
online with offline pre-deposit.
No, not much.
Nobody has allowed. All our advocates are failing us. Who are
Hmm.
filing writ petitions on this issue, they have not implemented GSTN in those writ petitions. So please don't simply make this 20% pre-deposit. I have seen many cases where we file a letter saying that I cannot make pre-deposit through DRC 3 because I have to pay through APL 5 again.
Hmm.
They have stopped the recovery proceedings in Bijapur, Belgaum, Bagalkot,
Yes, sir.
Raichur, and all those places.
Yes, sir.
They have not gone ahead with recovery. Once I have told them that APL 5 is the form.
Hmm.
Have we said it, or have we accepted the come under pressure and paid 20%?
Sir, we have given a letter that we are going to file once the tribunal is going
Have
to
you
get
said
constituted.
Have you said APL 5 is the form for making payment? If
That
you ask me to
okay.
pay through DRC 3, I will have to pay once again. JC admin does not know APL 5.
Okay, sir.
We have to meet JC admin, tell him that don't do this recovery proceeding
Hmm.
because APL 5 is not allowing me to go. Does APL 1 allow you to go to next screen without payment?
No, sir.
Can you make it 0% and then go to next screen?
No, sir.
Appellate authority will say appeal is defective because you see the language of 112.8.
Yes, sir.
No appeal, negative construct, and 107.6, no appeal shall be filed, which means there's a negative construct. In all cases where I have explained to JC admin that this APL 5 problem is there, they have stopped recovery action.
Okay, sir. Yes, we are just saying that we are going to file an appeal, so we request you to, but we have never stated this reason that it's not a payment challenge, that APL.
I cannot make, you say that if they're saying, okay, there are cases where people are saying,
Yes, sir.
okay, circular 132 only defers the limitation for filing appeal, it does not give stay.
Yes, sir.
It is inbuilt in saying that
Yes, sir.
limitation has been extended, but they are misreading this, and this is all coming from the top. Some adcoms are giving advice,
Yes,
saying
sir.
go and do like this. How many fellows will go to court? Let's see.
Yeah.
All of these things. But then they are doing their job to increase revenue targets.
Yes, sir.
But we have to do our job.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Yes.
All
So,
right.
yes, sir. So this is one aspect, sir. And second aspect is practically like we have seen that in few of the cases, the time bar, we are getting a time barred orders. Like for example, it is pertaining to November 23 or December 23. So generally we believe that as already it is beyond the time limitation, so we cannot file because there is a statutory discipline which has been incorporated in the law. So 3 months plus 1 month. So in those cases, in few instances, it has happened that bank has done the recovery proceedings based on this section. Yeah. So now the issue is, now we have to analyze what can be the further course of action. One thing is, if it is attached, should we take this immediately to the High Court, or the second option is, should we make an attempt to file an appeal? Because if we look into the portal, they are allowing you to file the appeal even if it is beyond the uh, condonation period, but only thing is it is giving a pop-up message saying
Warning.
that it is beyond the statutory period, just to, because already there is an attachment of bank, and by the time they go to High Court and they come back, I think it will take days together to get a order, stay
Now
order.
we'll see. Now we will see.
Yeah.
What is the language of 1071? 3 months will commence from when?
Date of communication, na, sir.
What is the date the assessee has come to know of the order is dependent on the nature of his business and his knowledge about online functionalities, or everybody will be aware of online functionalities.
Yes. Okay.
Date of order is not always the same as date of communication of the order. How many orders you know that are signed on 31st of May at 5:20 p.m.?
Yes, sir.
31st of December, Sunday, 31st
Yes.
December 23, on Sunday at 4 o'clock in the evening, he has uploaded the order.
Yes.
You know, we are making this mistake. In column number 7 of APL 1, we should say date of DRC 13 as the date of service. If
Yes.
that is the date that you come to know about the order, date of, we are filing APL 1 like clerks. Date of order is date of service of order. Why is there a separate column in APL 1 for date of service of order when there is already a column, I think what, 3 or something regarding date of order?
Yes, sir.
Because there can be a gap. See, Ajanta Electrical said design of the form is interpretation of the rule according to the government. If the government interprets the rule that date of order and date of service of order are not one and the same, we should be careful not to fill date of order as date of service of order.
Okay.
If DRC 13 is the date when you come to know about the order, in column number 7, fill date of DRC 13 date as the date of communication of the order. Now it is for the appellate authority to decide whether I have been negligent in not checking the portal every day. When you go into negligence, facts and circumstances of the case will have to be taken into consideration. You are a PWD contractor versus you are an IT company in Electronic City. Electronic City IT company can be expected to check their portal every day. But PWD contractor will check portal only on 11th and 20th.
Correct.
So when we say date of service is DRC 13, we should be also clever as to what is the date we are saying. There has to be a reasonable explanation for our actions. December 31st, 2023 was Sunday. Why did we put December 31st as date of service? Because we are not giving it some thought. Next, January 1st, can we say is date of service? Why did you open the computer on January 1st? If you are not somebody, if you are somebody who's claiming that you don't open the computer portal every day, why did you open it on January 1st? You should have opened it on January 11th when you are filing GSTR1 or whatever date you actually filed GSTR1, 9th or 10th or whenever you filed. Please be very careful. Our actions must be compatible with our innocence. We should not say suddenly in between on 5th of January, I opened the system. Secondly, you are aware online where the orders are uploaded. It is file new open my documents, others miscellaneous. Somewhere there it is in the tree.
Yes, sir.
Nobody can open it. It is not like your license is expiring, that pop-up comes out.
Yes, sir.
You have an order served online, please check on the direct on path so and so. So it is kept in a very secret place and it is not drawing my attention, and I am a PWD contractor who does not go to website every day. So therefore these are questions that appellate authority has to answer. And here in Bangalore State Department itself, I have many cases which have been accepted. The only point they're checking is what have you said in column number 7. You yourself have said that December 31st is date of service. Sorry, I cannot help you.
Hmm.
So consider it that way.
Yes, sir.
And then time limit, because date of order cannot be date of communication of order. If it was one and the same, why did they say two different dates?
Correct.
All right.
Yes. And recently also, I think there was certain decision, sir, on this view additional notices. They have gone to the High Court because the notice was uploaded not in your regular view notices. It has gone to the additional notices. So it has gone to the,
Now,
yeah,
now that is,
yeah,
it is a very thin line,
yeah, sir.
highly dangerous strategy.
Yes, sir.
If you know how to view notice, Magane, why you don't know how to view
Additional.
additional notices?
But still, court has considered that submissions.
That all depends on face value. Somebody with a nice face value like Sai Prasad Bose judges with you already. And there Rodre is already no. So, but those are not. I mean, what is the legal basis to make that argument?
Yes,
I
sir.
don't even know if someone like who understands these principles so
Yes,
nicely, like Sai, will advance such an argument. There are a lot of risk takers in court,
yes,
but
sir.
we should not think that those judgments are good law like
Yes,
that.
sir. Correct, sir.
Hmm?
Yes, sir. And even this, I think this condonation, what we are Mukul Islam case or this Chennai, this Madras High Court case where they are allowed, though it is a bad judgment, but they have allowed the condonation period. I think Himalayan case also where they have given the, even if it is beyond this 4 months, still they have given a direction to,
No, but where is the law? Where is the law?
yeah, I know.
If so if there is no law, the decision is not a precedent.
Yes,
The
sir.
decision is a remedy for that petitioner.
Yes, sir.
That's all.
Yes. But if
All
we,
this,
yes, sir.
go on, go on.
Yes, sir. But if I was just trying to read this, Mukul, sir, I was not able to understand how can they refer this section 5 and section 27 of this limitation act, sir. I think they are reading that special law itself as a, they have not referred GST law. I think they are referring the limitation act, sir. Is that way we have to understand? And what was the reason to?
Of course,
Yeah,
of
sir. I
course.
think that way, that was one thing I was able to understand from that, sir. Now, next is like,
No, 1 minute, 1 minute.
yeah, sir.
In cases where parties have got appeal admitted wrongfully, what will happen once the appeal is now considered on merits? Appeal got admitted now based on directions of court.
Yes, sir.
Appellate authority can still say that on merits I will reject your appeal.
Possible, sir.
So therefore, we have to be very careful what we advance. Now, by going to court, you know what they have done? They have gone and admitted that they have crossed 4 months. Which means I have committed murder, but one chance kodi, don't punish.
Yes.
Admission of wrongdoing is contained within the petition itself.
Yes, sir. Internally,
If
yes. Sorry. Yes.
sorry, go ahead.
No, sir. Please cut.
If they had challenged the 1 month time limit being insufficient, many such things, if it was to say this 1 month is not mandatory, it is not extinctive prescription, all these things are one aspect. But to say that even though act is there, you give me release, then what's the purpose of parliament? Then everybody will go and ask the judge only what we should do.
Yes, sir. And one more thing, sir. Recently, I have just, I don't know how it happened. One of the consultant, he has filed the appeal, sir, actually. But what he has done is, within the time limitation, he has just filed this APL 1 and he has not uploaded this statement of facts and grounds of appeal, sir. And he has just uploaded APL 1 with all that information of disputed tax, all that, and basic verification, all that requirement. He has filled it and he got an acknowledgement. And when he is going to file this manually, he has drafted this statement of facts, grounds, and then he has filed the manually with saying that concerned CTO saying that we will file it manually. But my question is, sir, because within the limitation period, he has filed the appeal. But can we say that he has filed the appeal, sir? Though he has got that provisional acknowledgement against that APL 1, sir. He has not given, sir.
What appellate authority must do before entertaining the appeal is answer the question whether the appeal merits being entertained. Without the statement of facts and grounds of appeal, the appeal is defective. No appeal shall be filed unless it is submitted in the manner prescribed. Therefore, there's a very good case that since the essential requirements of the appeal are missing, the appeal is liable to be dismissed at the threshold.
But it can be questioned, sir, because he has filed appeal 1 within, as you are saying, statement and grounds are not, so it is not
Yeah.
as prescribed, sir.
Madam, now based on our understanding, practically why they do this is,
Yeah, sir.
they want to meet Rajesh on Monday to discuss the grounds of appeal. But
Yes.
on Sunday itself is the last date, so urgently they have filed it without even enclosing statement of facts and grounds of appeal.
Okay, sir.
You file ಮಾಡಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ.
Okay, sir.
You know all this tax audit strategy, no?
Yes,
You
sir.
file and you file for 3CB, but 3CD we
Yes, sir.
attach later.
Yes,
All
sir.
this technique they're trying today, but in online it doesn't work that way. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮವರೇ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರು ಅಲ್ಲ.
Yes, sir. Now, next question is, sir, this we are receiving this summary order on different dates and adjudicating orders on the different dates, sir. So, in principle, we understand that it has to be considered from the date when the adjudicating order is received, sir.
No, now it is up to you how you want to
Yes.
strategize it. If you are within time, you will say date of order is the date of communication of order. If you are beyond the date, you will say DRC7 is the date of order.
Yes, sir.
And let the department say no. The earliest is first, the latest is not first. All that they have to answer.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So that is one thing. And before going into this issue, sir, one more issue is, as we all know, this last year there was a certain intimation like DRC1, DRC1B, 1C, 1D has come. So now the issue is whether we can file the appeal against this 1D, sir, because the 107 is using any decision, and 1D is like a recovery notice, na, sir. So,
see, 1D is traceable to 88D and 142B.
Yes, sir.
If you see 88D3,
yes, sir,
very clearly it says SCN under 73-74 has to be issued if you don't provide a reply or the reply is not satisfactory.
Yes, sir.
Only in 88C3 it says 79 action is allowed.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, no appeal against 1C.
1D can be.
No, against 1D, you have to get show cause notice. No appeal.
Okay, sir.
When yellow color hand is coming on screen.
One question, sir, doubt.
Hey, sir.
So if we are filing the appeal, first appeal, on the technical grounds of it being served late and without prejudice, and no alternative replies on merits are also not filed. Now the Commissioner Appeals is not happy with the reply, and he whatever the order was there, he confirmed the same. Now when I'm going to the tribunal, in the tribunal, of course, my first plea would also be again this. Will the tribunal will start hearing my reply on the merits, or how would that happen, sir? If I did not do a reply on merits?
Normally no. But if the issue raised by you is so fundamental, then tribunal will have to reach a finding on that fundamental issue. And then see whether it has to be remanded for consideration on merits.
Okay.
So therefore, we cannot say there is only one way tribunal has to go. That if you don't raise all please raise all the points is old school. For example, if enforcement officer has issued show cause under 73 and you have raised the ground that 73 jurisdiction itself is not there, tribunal has to answer the question whether 73 also, just because the circular, the 3/3/2018 allows it, therefore you must 17 allows it, he has jurisdiction. If the jurisdiction question is not properly answered, there cannot be anything else to be answered. Now we have to examine in first appeal and in the reply to show cause notice what questions were raised. I'll give you an example. Show cause reply was on ex parte basis. First appeal, the only ground taken was 73 cannot be invoked by DGGI. Now in tribunal says DGGI also can issue 73. Then it has to go back for consideration on merits.
So tribunal would remand back the matter.
Definitely they have power to remand. Now whether you are able to persuade the tribunal that once since the question of 73, 74 in the hands of DGGI is so fundamental that there was never an opportunity to examine these questions, then yes. Alternate situation I will give you. Show cause you have given reply on merits.
Right.
Then one clever consultant gets involved. In appeal, he only raises 73, 74 issue. Then tribunal will say there has already been an application of mind once before.
Correct.
And since doctrine of election, you have elected to restrict your plea only on 73, 74, the remaining does not merit consideration. So you have to therefore be very sure of the strategy you want to follow throughout. I'll give you an example. There was a service tax matter where the show cause notice was time barred. Only one ground of objection filed to show cause reply saying that notice is time barred. No reply on merit. Demand confirmed. Went in appeal. Appeal said yes, it is time barred. But if they had said no, it is not time barred, then there is no case on merits because I have chosen not to go into. You understand? So therefore, you have to be very careful and make a strategy whether you want to do only one approach or not.
So
typical example is 2A 3B.
Yeah.
If you give reconciliation on 2A 3B, you are finished. Although I think Madam will discuss. But if you say 2A itself is wrong in 1718 to be taken for consideration, then you have a good case in tribunal. And if they are satisfied that it has to be considered, then in their wisdom, they may remand for consideration because 183, etc. are applicable.
Okay. So this applies to any of the subject discussions also. Like in one case, like input tax credit on repairs and maintenance of the building, the officer intended to disallow. And the client had a segregation between office building versus the staff quarters. The staff quarters he himself has disallowed, but office buildings he has allowed. So the officer said no repairs and maintenance would be allowed. And whatever is the repairs and maintenance debit in the P&L, he added just 18% as the input tax credit disallowance and passed the order. And without even discussing that he wants to put it under 17(5)(c), no discussion, anything of that. Now, in the appeal, I had the multiple technical points to dispute. So I did not even stress upon, or I did not even plea why 17(5)(c)(d) would be applicable. I was only questioning on the technical defects in the show cause notice, saying that this demand is not tenable. I did not make any alternative plea on the merit.
Right.
Now, I haven't got the commissioner appeal order yet. So I'm only just thinking if commissioner appeal upholds that, okay, there is a liability. Though the liability itself is wrong, I'm just thinking, what do I do with the tribunal?
So now in the tribunal, what you can consider is not what was in the show cause notice, but in the first appellate authority's order,
Huh.
The absence of any cause of action. It does not
Hmm.
say which provision of 17.5 is attracted. That becomes ground.
Hmm.
Whether that was already considered before or not is a next aspect.
Hmm.
But the commissioner's order itself is also defective on its own.
Hmm.
That will require consideration. So tribunal can be, convinced to open up those questions and answer, provided you are willing to open it up.
Okay. And when it is opened, would they remand back to the Commissioner Appeal or they would also hear it and dispose?
Based on SESTAT, what is seen is, if there are too much of verification to be done, they will remand it for verification. But if, let us say, CA certificate, statutory auditor certificate, something is appended, either as a SOF or in paper book, they can look at it and say that, okay, it's very clear, there's nothing further remains to be examined. So therefore, to the extent that you're admitting, it will be allowed.
Okay, so here the facts are not disputed. So then the tribunal can hear this matter at their
And straight away pass an order, yes.
Got it.
Yeah. Next issue is, sir, is there a possibility, like, for example, sir, I have paid the taxes under protest 100% and I have gone for appeal and interest and penalty is litigated. Along with that, even the issue is litigated, but we are saying that we are paid under protest, though there is no such specific provision in the law, but there are a lot of court decisions where they have allowed to make the payment under protest. So now the issue is, if we look into this strict reading of this 115, it says that interest will be given only based on the pre-deposit which has been made under 1076 or whatever it is as required. Now my issue is, in case if I made 100% payment under protest, tomorrow if the decision is favorable, we will apply section 56 and accordingly within that 60 days we can apply for interest. Now my question is, 115 is only to the extent of 10% of pre-deposit or 20% of pre-deposit, or can I take it as 100% as a pre-deposit and claim the interest? That is a one thing. And in second scenario, in most of the e-way bill cases, as we discussed, that they are taking the 100% for releasing of your goods. And in addition to that, even we are paying that 25% of the penalty as a pre-deposit to get the file to make a application for appeal. Now the issue is how this interest will be computed in all the scenarios, or where now the tribunal is getting delayed in constitution. So how this, there is also a question today by everyone is how this interest will be paid back by the government in case if there is a favorable appeal, sir. So this is one thing I would like to.
Madam, see, basic principle is you cannot earn interest when you dispute any demand.
Okay.
Basic principle.
Okay.
56 only creates a mechanism where department in the past, after a party has got favorable order, for years and years, they don't disperse the refund. Second point. Third point is, even though you are entitled to a refund automatically of the free deposit, there is a requirement to file a refund application saying pursuant to appellate orders. You understand?
Yes, sir. Got it. Yes, sir.
So now you cannot pay everything that you like to pay and earn interest.
Okay.
Redeposit is what you pay under 1076. Anything beyond 1076 is hit by 2-year limitation to claim refund.
Okay.
Redeposit, under protest payment, etc., was a solution that was devised by courts that is deliberately not contained in the statute today. See, our past experience can be used in GST, but when it is not used, we must understand that the entire principle they want to discontinue.
Okay.
Next point is in table number 15, when you say disputed tax, undisputed tax, what are you filling up?
Disputed on actually.
You cannot say more than 10% you will fill
Correct.
up.
Correct.
Now, two instances, e-waybill cases or forced recovery. There are cases where department under 78 has
Yes.
debited your credit ledger or cash ledger.
Yes, sir.
Where debited, the department itself has debited credit ledger or cash ledger. When you go to file appeal, table number 15 itself says deposit has been paid. You can proceed to file appeal without paying once again.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes.
E-waybill cases, you will say entire amount you have paid because you have paid through DRC3.
Yes, sir.
Now, how DRC3 will match with online APL1? We are saying it is this. There is no solution as it stands today
Yes,
to
sir.
make online appeal for offline pre-deposit.
Correct.
But e-way bills are being accepted. So there is a big lacuna.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, this interest issue cannot be answered with basis in the law. Logically, some answer can be given.
Okay, sir.
But from the law, what is the basis? No answer can be provided.
Okay.
Only 2 points of consideration. Anything more than the statutory amount is not pre-deposit. And interest is not a way to profit by keeping money with the department. Interest is only a measure to prevent officers from delaying. But if you see history, maybe 1% of assessees have got refund.
Yes, sir.
Even those who paid hundreds of crores
Yes, sir.
have not seen 1 rupee interest.
Correct. Yes, sir.
So therefore, please be very careful
Yes,
when
sir.
we read all these judgments where court said you must give interest.
Yes, sir.
Has that petitioner informed anybody that he got the interest money? There is no history in the last so many years. I have not seen assessees who have got huge amounts as interest. In fact, I know so many instances where assessee is asked to give a letter saying that I will not claim interest. Then only principal is released.
Yes, sir. Now the next issue is today we are able to see that Safari retreat is pending before the Supreme Court, or this Tagar Vasudev is pending, or a lot of decisions are pending before the Supreme Court. Now the issue arises whether, because if we read 10711, sir, they are saying case is not pending before the Supreme Court because this has gone through not through a appellate tribunal and High Court, it has gone through a writ petition. So my issue is when I think Tagar Vasudev also has gone against AAR. Even Safari has gone against AAR, and there are a lot of other decisions which have gone through against its AAR route, and it has gone to the High Court and Supreme Court. Now the issue is this section 10711, whether it excludes the proceedings, this time period, in case of like Safari today, whether they can keep that in a call book saying that it is pending before Supreme Court, because I believe that this 10711 is applicable only when it is going through this regular proceedings, that is through appellate authority, appellate tribunal, High Court and Supreme Court, and not when it is filed through the writ petition to the Supreme Court. So this is my interpretation on 10711. There are different
7511
thoughts on
10711.
this. Yes, sir.
7511 10711.
7511. Sorry.
Call book.
Call book. Sorry, 7511.
7511. Still now, the decision to keep cases in call book is to be taken by commissioner.
Yes, sir.
Central ಅಲ್ಲಿ commissioner, state ಅಲ್ಲಿ maybe ADCOM or JC will take this decision.
Yes, sir.
Why 7511 is given? If you see 1053 circular, basically it says the purpose of this call book business is to prevent the pendency of matters in appellate forum when already one issue is pending before a superior forum. So the forum is superior is not in doubt. Correct?
Yes, sir.
The issue for consideration is exactly the same as this issue here.
Yes, sir.
So to say that only through 117 route it should be in High Court and not through 226, 227, I don't think may be reasonable interpretation of 7511.
Okay. Then
Somebody
I
cannot
think,
say you
yeah.
went to High Court through writ petition, therefore the case should not have been kept in call book and you're hit by limitation. It is to prevent pendency in courts.
Okay, sir.
So therefore, I think any route is okay.
Okay, sir. That was thought, sir, actually. Because the way the wordings are there in 7511, just gave a thought on that, whether even this writ petitions is considered. So that was, yeah, sir. Now next is, we know, as most of us would have filed this appeal before Commissioner Appeal for the 16-4 cases. And I think now, if the Commissioner Appeal order is passed, and now recently we have seen this Kerala High Court judgment, that is state dealing case, where they are allowing you to file the appeal up to November for, I think, 21, 22 or some 2021 year. So my question is on 16-4. My question is, when we are going to take up the case before the next appellate authority, can we rely on the judgments which are favorable, and we can try to interpret saying that it is, or possibly when we are going to file a case before Commissioner Appeal, can we rely on the decisions which are giving a favorable, though there are other contradicting decisions which they have said that, like Patna High Court, where they have said that it's 16-4 is well within the time limit and it is, it cannot be, that benefit cannot be given. So these different decisions are there today. I've just taken an example of 16-4. There are various other cases also where it is happening around. So my question here is, when we are going to file the appeal tomorrow before the tribunal, can we take the benefit of this favorable judgment and try to give the benefit to the taxpayer? Or should we look into the strict interpretation of section 16.4? And so possibly how we have to take it up, sir? Because today we are able to see multiple judgments on multiple ways of interpretation. So that is one point I would like to add here, sir. Or can we just look into the favorable judgments and try to put our grounds of appeals?
Litigation is a strategy.
Yes, sir.
Although you have two cases on the same issue,
yes, sir,
there is no necessity that on both cases you must use the same strategy.
Okay, sir.
You are welcome to quote judgments that is in your favor.
Yes.
This M Trade Links judgment of Kerala High Court.
Yes, sir.
Please consider if you are planning to rely on it. They are not interpreting the law.
Yes, sir.
They are amending the law. When it says October, it is October.
Yes, sir.
If October can be read as November, then what about December?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it?
Yes.
So therefore, interpretation of statute says a decision is a precedent for what it answers and not for what it might also answer. This decision, M Trade Links, has not explained the statutory provision.
Yes, sir.
It has amended the statutory provision, saying if November you have done, then you can do November for everybody.
Yes, sir.
Parliament has to do Parliament's work. Court must do court work.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, so that apart. So they're wrong even on the interpretation of law.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, use whatever. There are 16-4 cases. All authorities are keeping in call book.
Yes, sir.
Safest is to ask officer, sir, you please wait. Don't be in hurry.
Yes, sir.
Keep in call book.
Yes, sir.
Many officers are happy to keep in call book.
Yes, sir. Even the safari retreat also they are taking in call book only.
Okay, no?
Yeah, sir. Good, actually. We can.
See, and safari retreat, once if show cause notice is not issued, then safari retreat issue can never be taken in 74.
Yes, sir.
So 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, many fellows have taken, utilized also.
Yes.
They can get relief.
Yes, sir. Matter of interpretation, sir.
Correct. No, this is a favorable decision of Orissa High Court also, however good or bad it may be.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes. And next issue is,
Madam,
yes, sir.
just to say, we are only seeing the PDF in case you are
No,
speaking
I
till the
have,
board
so
document.
I just noted today morning because yesterday I was in department.
No problem.
I
Okay,
couldn't
madam.
prepare the
Yeah,
material. So morning, whatever I was able to recall with whatever files.
done, ma'am.
To some extent, I'm just trying to, I've just made a note of that. I will share whatever
Yeah,
just as a pointer I have made it. So that's the reason, sir. And
Yes, ma'am.
next is like in the case of like sir was discussing on 2A as a many of the instances we are seeing that they are taking this 2A as your evidence, and based on that they are trying to identify that you have not accounted those purchases and it is an unaccounted purchase. All that they are taking it, sir. So I think we can rely on that Brindavan privileges, or we can rely on the certain decision saying that that cannot be your source of document, or that cannot be your source of evidence, sir, to rely on that, because you cannot determine your unaccounting stock, because in one of the instance it has happened that it is reflecting in my 2A, and I have not accounted in my books of accounts because it doesn't belong to me, or possibly your vendor has wrongly updated his GSTR1 and possibly would have not amended. So the department is relying on that 2A document and saying that no, there is some unaccounted stock. Though it is reflecting in your 2A, you have not considered in your books of accounts, and there is some evasion. So on all estimation and all, he has added, sir. So here, what we can try to look into that, na, sir, though that order is passed now, that cannot be your document, na, sir, that where the department can rely on, can pass the order. So this is one thing I would like to add here.
Be
And
very careful in such cases.
yes, sir.
Purchase appearing in 2A, not claimed as credit in 3B.
Yes, sir.
Are we saying in the reply that it is not our purchase? If we say it is not our purchase, then we should give proof.
Yes, sir.
We should give proof of total purchase for the year.
Yes, sir.
And this supplier is not in our total purchase list.
Yes, sir.
But if this supplier we have made purchase, but
Yes.
this invoice is not our purchase,
Yes, sir.
then we must provide proof of entire supplier ledger
Yes, sir.
and prove that this invoice is not in our ledger, supplier ledger.
Yes, sir. We also
But
took
in
a,
the,
yes, sir.
but in the reply to notice, if we say
Yes, sir.
this purchase, if we have not said this is not my purchase, we have simply said adding GP to purchases
Hello.
So if you say that adding GP to purchases is not the way to show supply,
Yes, sir.
then you don't have to give any proof. So we have to be very careful. See, normally when shocking things are said in a show cause notice, we tend to get blinded by our knowledge. We will go and say many things without proving a single thing. So we have to be very careful what line of defense has been taken in show cause.
Okay. Yes, sir. Because this 2A, 3B, as we were discussing, now, so this 183 circular, we have relied and we have given partial documents, partially we have to yet to produce it. So basically, I think that will be a task now before the appellate authority, sir, now, appellate tribunal now, how we are going to substantiate those transactions, sir, because Commissioner appeal in many instances, they have not considered, they have considered in few of the instances. So we have to wait and see, sir, how it is going to get tested in tribunal case, sir. Because 193 is again creating an issue of that provision of 20%, 10%. There is a difference of variations between the department figures and our figures when we are going to reconcile with 2B and 2A, sir. So I think this is also one more challenge which we may expect in tribunal, sir, actually. So again, it goes with the facts production, and in many instances, it has happened that we were not able to trace the supplier also. So the department is taking the say that supplier is no more existing, his registration is cancelled. So accordingly, but in case if the supplier is still registered and if it is continuing, then we cannot say, no, sir, that it is a fake ITC, and they have to. I think we can use the Suncraft Energy case, and we can try to say that if you are able to identify the supplier, then the action should be taken against the supplier. Only when we are not able to trace a supplier, then the action should be taken against the recipient. Can we try to bring out those kind of grounds, sir, when we are going to litigate on this kind of issues, sir?
See, I know one taxpayer
Mm.
in Bellary, Davangere somewhere.
Mm.
His supplier's number is cancelled.
Okay.
He got that supplier's contact. He told him to file appeal against the cancellation of registration.
Okay, sir.
The appeal is time barred, but he tried to file appeal against cancellation, took a copy of APL 1 and filed in reply to his show cause notice, saying that you cancelled the supplier's registration, but here is a proof that the supplier is trying to get back into the system. You have not taken any action. You are simply coming after me.
Okay.
That supplier's appeal got dismissed because it was delayed. But that does not mean supplier is not traceable. He is very much traceable because he is trying to get back into the system.
Correct. Okay, sir.
So this dealer's demand got dropped. So therefore, it all depends on what reply we have given. If we have used copy paste reply, 2A 3B reconciliation, R1 3B, e-waybill 3B, if we have done that now,
Yeah.
there is a very huge risk that we have damaged the case in tribunal. We have to go back and see how we can salvage the situation in first appeal so that it is now having some life in tribunal. In ADT 2 stage, show cause notice stage, or DRC 1A stage, also many people have written 50-50 page replies. If you come across cases in first appeal,
Yes, sir.
where the case has been damaged in earlier stages, please see how you can improve the case so that something can be done in tribunal. Relying on this 183 circular, extending the 183 circular by Wipro judgment. If you have relied on all these things, please be very careful. Deny the allegation, dispute the demand. Then we will see who has to prove what. See, when they say non-genuine supplier, they give show cause under 73. That itself is a good ground in tribunal.
Yes, sir.
How can you say he is fake, but you give under 73?
Correct.
See, these are all things you have carried in the early stages. Okay, madam. Continue.
Even this burden of proof also, like if we are able to prove with based on this Ecom Gill Karnataka judgment which has gone by Supreme Court, if we look into that, and as a recipient, if I'm able to give that burden of proof based on this 155 also, giving all the documents of payment to vendors, all your invoice, your transport documents, I think to that extent, I think still we can litigate in the tribunal itself based on this burden of
Correct.
Yes.
See, strategy is Ecom Gill, both sides are using.
Yes, sir.
But nobody is telling that Ecom Gill is in the context of section 70 of KVAT Act.
Yes, sir.
But they are not reading 70 subsection 2
Yes, sir.
to say that Ecom Gill does not give a exhaustive list.
Yes, sir.
Ecom Gill only says burden of proof is not discharged by giving ledger account and invoice copy. Something more has to be given. What is something more? Something more, let us say, in the case of a trading company, how my outward supply can be genuine, but my inward supply fake.
Yes, sir.
So the proof of genuineness of inward supply is non-objection of genuineness of all outward supplies, and you provide quantitative details.
Correct, sir. Yes, sir.
So therefore, both sides are using ecom GIL.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, we have to be very careful. Case law is not the end of the argument. Case law will come after the arguments have ended.
Yes, sir.
So we have to quote these judgments very carefully.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Anybody else has anything? I'll take it forward now. Now the next issue is, sir, regarding this pre-deposit, as we all know that we are using our credit ledger and we are making a pre-deposit, and now anyway Flipkart is pending. Now the issue what we are having is if the liability is for the reverse charge, sir. So like the demand is for reverse charge, and when we are going to litigate, I don't think so it will have any impact, sir. We can still use our credit ledger as a pre-deposit for filing that appeal, sir. It need not be from cash ledger. Can we take that as an interpretation, sir? Or can we use it our credit ledger also to make it as a pre-deposit when there is a RCM liability which is demanded in the order, sir? Because I was trying to read this as a utilization of electronic credit ledger, we cannot utilize against the RCM liability. But here it is not a question of RCM liability. It is a question of pre-deposit. So I view that you can use it, we can use it, but there are different school of thought on this issue. There is a interpretation saying that as it is pertaining to the RCM liability, the payment should be made to cash ledger and not to a credit ledger, sir. So members can give their views on this. Hello. Internet. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Sir, should I repeat, sir?
Repeat,
Yes,
madam.
please.
Yes, sir. There was a issue of order where they have created a RCM liability, sir. The order has been passed. Now we have to file an appeal before the commissioner appeal. The issue is because if you look the section 49 regarding electronic credit ledger, they say we cannot use it for RCM liability. The next question is, when we are going to file an appeal before the appellate authority, whether we can use our credit ledger balance as a pre-deposit when the demand pertains to a RCM liability, sir. So that was one thought, sir. I still believe that it can be used, but there are different thoughts on this, sir, because there is no.
I agree with you, madam.
Yes, sir.
Deposit is a deposit. Deposit is not tax.
Yes, sir.
There is no color coding for deposit depending on the underlying demand.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, you can use current.
Yes, sir. And next question is, in one of the case, the appellate authority has.
Madam, sorry to disturb.
Yes.
Sir, in the earlier thing, so if the judgment goes against the SSC and he has to pay the balance amount, balance 70%. So should that be paid in the cash then?
No. You can't pay balance. Pre-deposit, you get refund. And what liability you have to pay by cash.
Okay, it's not that I should adjust the pre-deposit and pay the balance.
No, because it will be paid through credit, no? See, 5410 says what? Whenever you claim refund, they can adjust. So if it is paid through cash, then they may be able to adjust it, but not through credit. But still now, they need to APL 4 settlement, how it has to be done is still not clear. Because if you see rule 160, not 162, no, it was amended.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, all those rules are still not there yet.
Okay.
How the final demand admitted will be settled is not known.
Now the next issue is in relation to this rectification, sir. 161, in one of the scenario, the appellate authority has not considered the reply filed by the taxpayer, sir. They have passed the order, and we have a proof that we have filed that reply to the appellate authority. We have the acknowledgement copy of that. but the department has not considered that reply, and they have passed the order. Now the issue is, can I say that it was a mistake apparent on record, or should I take this issue before the appellate tribunal and say that based on principle of natural justice, or based on this document was furnished, but it was not being considered. So I was just trying to read one of the decision of this New Delhi, sir. I think it was Safe Fly Aviation, where they have remanded back to the adjudicating authority, saying that the reply filed by the taxpayer should be considered, and then the order has to be passed. So it is against the principle of natural justice. So my issue is, in this scenario, even though the rectification application is made under 161, making an attempt to the appellate authority that in by mistake, if they would have missed out that submission of letter, possibly it can be a mistake which is apparent on record. So based on that, if they can consider that ground and revise their order. But basically, we are trying to understand that appellate authority, once they have made up their mind not to consider this reply, I think the next course of action is to go to High Court rather than waiting for appellate tribunal, or can we take this as a ground in the appellate tribunal itself, saying that this has not been considered, sir? So this is a one practical scenario which we have to try to test it, sir, actually, because that is practical case, I thought we have.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
See, rectification runs the risk. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I think we have to be very calculative or careful to understand when we have to file these rectifications. So that is one point. And yesterday, I think one more issue which we were discussing, sir, like they were dismissing the appeal based on personal authorized representative has not appeared for the case. So I think they would have considered on merits, though they have written in the order that they will consider on merits, but there is no reasoning which was given in the order for rejection, or there is no analyzing, or it is non-application of mine. I think it is without the reasons. They have just written that it is based on merit of the case, but they have not given on what basis they are disallowing. So conclusion, it is saying that the representative has not appeared for the case. So accordingly, they are dismissing the appeal. So this kind of situations we are facing today, I think all this will get tested in the appellate tribunal itself. So this is one more case. And one more thing I just would like to add is, in one of the cases, the investigation authority have visited, and they were able to trace that there is some unaccounted stock when they have compared with their stock records, with their purchases, stocks, all that. So what has happened, sir? They have issued the notice under 74. Along with that, they have also initiated the confiscation proceedings. So my initial reading of 74 was when they have already computed the liability under 74, saying that there is a willful misstatement or fraud, as the case may be. So accordingly, the demand was determined. Now the next issue is, they are also well within the power under 130 to confiscate and levy the penalty under 130 also, along with the 170, along with the 74, because the explanation 2 is using the word any other person, right, na, sir? So I read one of your articles, sir. I think that was prior to your amendment, where you have stated that, I will just read that, sir. What you have written, sir. I just want to get a clarification on this. You have written in that article, sir. I'll read, sir. Can I read that, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. That article is saying that a quick overview would help lay out the salient features to better appreciate the gulf that lies between seizure and confiscation. Now, you have stated that as per section 35(6) of the Central GST Act, presumption operate in favor of supply to evade the payment of taxes. Proper official issues DRC 1A under 74(5) of CGST Act, demanding payment of tax along with the interest and penalty of 15% on the quantity of shortfall at their open market value on the prescribed rate and time and place of supply permitted in law. And then the taxpayer discharges the same. This ends the proceedings as well as the demand. If the proper officer were to then proceed to issue a show cause notice proposing action under 130 subsection 1 of the CGST Act, the taxpayer could withdraw from deciding this action and leave the proper officer wondering how to go about adjudicating this notice. So, is this prior to amendment, sir? This because this you have written that this ends the proceedings as well as the demand. So, whether can I say that 74 is concluded and there should not be any further confiscation, or can I take both are the different adjudicating proceedings which has to be initiated, and we cannot take the question of double jeopardy also because it is a case of penalty. So what I can understand is after amendment or I think both has to be taken separately, na sir? Because
No. 1
yes,
minute.
yes,
First of all, the amendment in 130, opening words of 130
yes, sir.
does not change the position here.
Okay, because
Notwithstanding anything contained in the act
yes,
is
yes, sir.
replaced with where.
Sir? Yes, sir.
So therefore, this article is not got outdated because of that amendment.
Okay, sir.
Second,
Hmm.
seizure is necessary to do confiscation.
Yes, sir.
If the department says that there is a suppression of sales, suppose for some reason they say there is suppression of sales, where are the goods? Goods are sold.
Yes, sir.
Clandestinely,
Yes.
goods are sold and not reported. Department issues show cause notice under 74 saying that there is evidence that you have sold goods without paying GST. They issue show cause notice, take action, etc., etc.
Yes,
They
sir.
cannot say confiscation, because to confiscate they must have custody of the goods.
Okay.
See, confiscation is not a hypothetical action in vacuum. Confiscation is to transfer property in the goods in favor of the government. For the property to pass, the property must exist in physical control.
Okay, sir.
If the goods are only not there, I mean, the case itself says the goods are not there because it is sold off unaccountably. There cannot be any 130 action.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sir. Because this was a issue I was getting confused after reading this. Now I got a clarity, sir. And anybody else has any issue, sir? Otherwise, one more last issue, I'll just take it up. One more is in case of this non-filing of return, sir, the department has issued a notice under 73. So can we question that proceedings they have to initiate through that what I can say notice through 3A and 62 assessment should be done and not 73? Can we question that way, or can they take up that proceedings and take it further, sir? I know it may be baseless ground, I don't know, sir, but
no, you are saying the returns have not been filed.
yes, sir.
The department has issued show cause notice.
Yes, sir.
And when they have issued show cause notice, you want to say they should have done proceedings under 62.
Yes, sir. Then they would have
Not
lead.
73.
Yes, sir.
You are saying that they should have taken action under 62 and not under 73.
Yes, sir. Can I give that ground? I do it was
1 minute. Today, the dispute is how to adjudicate the show cause notice. Not to sit in judgment about what the officer has done. You understand what he should have done?
Okay.
If the issue is 73, we can't go into 62. Secondly, is 62 worse than 73 or 73 is better than 62? In 73, they're trying to calculate the demand more accurately than do guesswork permitted in 62.
Okay.
So why are you asking for, instead of you're asking for a worse treatment, is it?
No, only thing was because I was just thinking, can we take up that data? Because if you read 3A and section 46, sir, it gives that there is a mandate that they have to issue a 3A notice in case.
No, for 62, 46 is mandatory.
Yeah.
But for 73, 62 is not precondition.
Not mandatory. Okay, sir. So they can directly route through 73.
But in fact, you are in a better position when they do 73 instead of 62.
Correct.
Because now burden of proof on department.
Yes, not on us actually. Yes. Yes, sir. Only just a thought, sir. Yes, sir. It might be little baseless, but I thought.
No. But what you are saying is something that can be tried in other cases.
Hmm.
For example, for 63, if they do 74, for 63 case, if they do 74, then you can use this argument.
Yes.
But this is all matter of strategy. I don't want to say this is the
Yeah.
only answer in each
Correct, sir.
case. See, many times they will make new mistakes in
Yes.
adjudication and first appeal, which will help your case later in appeal.
Correct, sir.
So please don't go with one strategy saying this is like a rule.
Correct.
But one point on this to consider is 62 is not a precondition for 73
Yes,
for
sir.
non-filers. An easier route is there in 62, but they have taken a tougher route in 73. It is their decision how they want to administer the law.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yes, sir. And next 2-3 issues I have, sir. I just made a point.
Tell me.
Yes, sir. The next is with regarding to this, I think most of us are facing today that credit note was not uploaded by your vendor, and accordingly you would have reversed the credit. So department is asking you to again reverse that credit. So there are a lot of issues which we are facing before adjudicating authority, sir, where they are asking you to, because if you read section 15, they are saying the supplier should have an agreement and even the recipient should reverse the credit. But the problem is in few of the cases, they have uploaded as B2C instead of B2B. So that's why we have this 183 circular. All that is fine, sir. But basically now the issue is getting the certificates from the recipient to say that it is reversed. They have reversed the credit is upon the supplier, or is it on the recipient, sir, to prove that they have reversed the credit? Because I understand that it is a condition to claim a deduction for discount. But practically, we have seen in one of the few of our cases where the department is rejecting your credit note benefit on the contention. It was a GST credit note, well and good, but we had a multiple distributors, and we have to take a certificate from each of our recipient, that is distributor, to prove that they have reversed the credit. And we have tried, sir, around 40 to 45 distributors were there. We tried to get from 30, but we were not able to get all 45 distributors. So whether the burden of proof is on the supplier itself to get those declaration, or as per my understanding, I understand that we have to take, but in practical, we won't take, no, sir, that whether my recipient has reversed the credit or not. Practically, only
No, 1 minute. No, 1 minute.
Yeah, sir.
When you have given certificate for 30, which means you are admitting that you are liable to get certificate from all 40.
Yes, sir.
You understand, no?
Yes, sir. I got it, sir.
One exam you get 100 marks.
Yeah.
That means all papers you are supposed to get 100 marks.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So there you have damaged the case.
No, but how?
ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ.
ಹೇಳಿ, sir.
Is there a prima facie case that my supplier has not reversed the ITC? What is the prima facie case? If I have issued GST credit note, but I have not uploaded in GSTR 1 promptly, I have done issued credit note correctly,
yes,
within the time limit, 1:1, many:1, all that I have done.
Yeah.
I have uploaded in the portal, GSTR numbers are all correct. There is a positive figure in 1 month and a negative figure in 2A appearing in the few months later.
Yes, sir.
Why does department think that in spite of negative figure appearing in the portal, my supplier may not have, my customer may not have reversed it? See, to require proof, there must be prima facie merit in the allegation to the contrary. They cannot simply say, please produce proof. Idu atte sose ತರ ಆಯ್ತು. Whatever you do, she is not going to be happy ಅಂದಂಗ ಆಯ್ತು. So therefore, you have to only, by giving 30 certificates, you have messed up the case. ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? You get 30, 10 you are not able to give. What is the argument for the remaining 10? Even if you have 30, keep the 30, don't give 1 also. In the final stage, you can always introduce this 30.
Mm-hmm.
But where is the requirement to get this certificate from somebody?
Yes, sir.
And ನೀವೇ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ICI certificates in GST handbook. Where is the requirement to give certificate? 15.3b is very clear. Other person must reverse it.
Yes,
Who
sir.
says the other person has not reversed?
Mm-hmm.
I will say he has reversed. I have uploaded negative figure in GSTR 1.
Mm.
Obviously, he has reversed. Everybody must assume that everybody else will follow the law. You cannot assume nobody will follow the law.
Correct.
Then next they will say this 30 certificate also is printed by Karim Lala Telgi.
Mm.
They will say the certificate is fake. How many 183 certificates are fake now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When
Yes.
they are printing currency note, what is printing UDIN number?
Yes, sir.
UDIN number also is given in advance, no? 15 days before only we can get UDIN number.
Yes, sir.
If you start questioning and doubting every transaction, then there is no limit. So by giving this 30, you have given a handle to the department on the remaining 10.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. Yes, sir. So that was one more thing. And last point is this many times we rely on our erstwhile decisions, sir. Whether it is a reply to notice or whether it is a to the commissioner appeal or tribunal. So to what extent we have to rely, because we have seen many times income tax cases are added, service tax cases are added, central excise, VAT, whatever it is. So basically, I think we can borrow the principle, but we may not apply the law what was there, because we may not be understand that the drafting which was there in the erstwhile law will remain the same in the GST law also, sir. I think that way can we look into this erstwhile decision, sir.
Yes, see, it's only a precedent, no?
Yes, sir. Precedent, sir.
What is the ratio? The ratio will be binding if the law is pari materia.
Correct.
Is the law pari materia? We have to show.
Yes, sir.
Once we show law is pari materia, then the decision will be binding because of the superiority of the authority who is pronouncing that decision.
Yes.
We are not even showing it is pari materia. We are simply vomiting case law.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So this is one more point, like, because this is one more thing which I thought like we have to be very cautious when we are referring the decisions, no, sir. So this is a
You're
one.
right, you're right.
Yes, sir. And last point is condonation of delay. I think condonation, I think we have already discussed on that. Only one thing what we are able to understand is that today, like, we are going with condonation because that is permitted, but is it required that we have to give the reasons, or can we just say that we have delayed by this many days will suffice? And in our erstwhile practice, we have seen that they have allowed, even if we have given our medical certificates or we have given any other personal reasons also, that has been considered, and it is only a formality, or is it something they have the right to reject your condonation, sir? That is
No, when we read Isha Bhattacharya's judgment in
Yes,
section
sir.
5 of Limitation Act,
Yes, sir.
the 3 months is the end.
Yes, sir.
The 4th month time that is allowed
Yes, sir.
only if it is justifiable and sufficient. It is not merely justifiable. It should be sufficient explanation of the delay that you are prevented. Because see, you have to balance. I mean, the authority will have to balance
Yes, sir.
justice to assessee in allowing COD application and injustice to department in allowing this. They have to balance it. And the balance of convenience must be brought out very clearly by the explanation. Every single day of delay must be explained. Grandfather not well, auntie marriage.
Yes, sir.
ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ VAT ಅಲ್ಲಿ because see other things were being given in to appellate authorities. They were not making a big issue out of COD. Today COD will become very important.
Yes, sir.
Every day must be explained and every explanation must be reasonable, plausible, and nothing that will shock As there was one affidavit I saw where they said the chartered accountant is getting married. That is why appeal could not be filed.
Yeah, yeah.
The consultant who's appointed or madve ante due to marriage. Andre tribunal has to wait till sir comes back from honeymoon. La agala. We have to be very see. We have to take this so responsibly.
Yes.
And we must make it look like if they don't allow the COD, it will be blatant injustice.
Yes, sir. In erstwhile, I remember, sir, in few of the application, they have used the same doctor certificate. So 3 applications.
COD ಗೆನೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಅದೇ COD. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ 3rd ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರೇ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಆ ತರ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಸರ್. ಸೊ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ, ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ, ಬಟ್ ಐ ಟೇಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್. One more, sir, ಇದು ಈಗ corporate guarantee, as you know, so this issue was there and they clarified through circular, valuation rule was added. All this has happened, sir. Now, in one of the case, what has happened, they have already passed the order, sir, saying that it is liable. After that, the circular was introduced, sir. So now the issue is, can we take as a, one thing is, can we make a rectification application saying that the circular was introduced? So, but according to me, they cannot use 161 because there is no, when they have passed the order, the circular was not in place. So that is a one point. Second point is, if I have to go to tribunal unnecessary, I end up paying that 20%, or as the case may be, my amount will get blocked unnecessary. And third thing is, if I have to think of going to High Court also, is like, because this is something like, I think, issue which generally arise. There are certain clarifications which are coming post to your order. There are certain decisions which are coming post to your order. So how shall we look into this kind of things? Because it is not nowhere covered in our respective sections. So how can we look into those scenarios?
See, if the decision was after considering the material available at that time, and new material, whether circular comes later or a superior court's decision comes later, they will all give you only grounds for appeal and not grounds for rectification. Redeposit is a necessary evil. Previously, in every appeal, you had to argue on stay.
Yes, sir.
Stay was one procedure.
Yes, sir.
Then merits was another procedure.
Yes, sir.
Many cases stay granted with lot of conditions, 50% payment, etc. So the pre-deposit in GST is a bad compromise because VAT was used to 100% pre-deposit, including interest and penalty.
Yes, sir.
30% at least in cash, balance in BG.
Yes, sir.
That is why nobody was filing appeal in VAT. Everyone were going for settlement.
Yes, sir.
And here it was 7.5% and 10% in central taxes. So via media compromise, nimgu beda, namgu beda, let us go with 30%. So now that there is a compromise formula, you cannot say I will not follow this. So grounds comes from the circular and decisions subsequent to the order. Based on the grounds, appeal only has to be filed. Pre-deposit is a precondition for appeal. ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು, ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕು, ರಕ್ತ ಬರ್ಲೇಬೇಕು.
Yes, sir. So
see, we should be little bit objective when it comes to pre-deposit, because client will make a face when you say he has to deposit 10%, 20%. Another alternative idea, something. They will try those things because they are used to trying those things. Because they are also confident that request ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ madam ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. But High Court, see, what will happen in High Courts is, if in passing High Court were to make a statement on the merits of the case, all doors are now closed. You cannot go back to a first appeal tribunal, you can't go anywhere.
So you're finished. You only have to go to writ appeal and SLP. How
Yes,
many can go through that route?
correct, sir.
So therefore, we have to be very careful. Today, chartered accountants are using 226, 227 so liberally. Youngsters have seen.
Yes, sir.
And those who fight in High Court will tell us that it is such a task for them to convince a judge who is a non-tax person
Yes, sir.
to appreciate the intricacies of tax.
Yes, sir.
So, pre-deposit is a necessary evil.
Hmm.
We have to be objective. Cutback on the cutback. Illandre better to pay 20% instead of paying 100%.
Okay, sir. And even after this commissioner appeal order also, we cannot go to High Court, na, sir, because they say when you have an alternate remedy, where you have come to the court.
No, Whirlpool versus Registrar of Trademark. It says what are the circumstances when you can go to High Court directly at any stage. Because there cannot be a law that bars High Court jurisdiction. At any stage, you can go to High Court. DRC 1A stage also, you can go to High Court. SCN, first appeal, second appeal. At any stage, you can go to High Court. The question is, what was the infraction that makes the petition maintainable?
Okay, sir. Because I was reading one of this Allahabad High Court decisions, sir, in that Bharat Mint and Allied Chemicals. Earlier, otherwise, if we referred this commercial steel, they referred some 4 to 5 scenarios, na, sir. But if we see this Allahabad High Court of Bharat Mint and Allied Chemicals, I think it has extended lot of scenarios where you can file a writ to a High Court, sir. So I think that might be helpful to a taxpayer, na, sir.
No. See, now we are saying in a study circle of chartered accountants, we are discussing what are the grounds for maintainability of writ petition.
No.
Maintainability of writ petition has so many grounds.
Okay.
And we cannot say it is confined to these things. Now you tell me, Tagar Vasudeva Ambarish in Karnataka High Court, why it is maintainable?
Correct.
Why it is maintainable? Because Arvind Dattar's office filed the writ petition.
Yes, sir.
Ashte, Shahrukh Khan bandre, ya picture hit. So no Allahabad High Court will come to your rescue.
But this kind of scenarios, like corporate guarantee example, what I was giving, there's a huge stakes actually. So I was just thinking what to advise, like should we wait for tribunal or should we go for High Court?
Definitely there are matters carried to High Court. You know that Punjab High Court has granted a stay, Delhi High Court has granted a stay.
Yes,
in Punjab, Dr. Balbir Singh is appearing. In Delhi, Sujit Ghosh is appearing.
Yes, sir.
Many matters are being carried, interim orders are granted, but no final orders. So till final orders are given, file appeal, ask them to keep in call book. In Punjab High Court, do you know on what grounds they have granted interim stay? You understand?
Okay.
They are questioning the validity of 28.2.
Okay.
And 28.2 uses the words on behalf of. On behalf of the subsidiary, parent company never gives bank corporate guarantee.
Okay.
Because subsidiary is in no position to dictate to parent company. Subsidiary is Bhiksha Patra. You give me equity or you give me corporate guarantee so that I can take debt.
Okay.
See, giving corporate guarantee is treasury management function of the parent company.
Okay.
If 28.2 says on behalf of, it means that there is a possibility that corporate guarantee can be given on own account also. So these are all differentiations that have not been brought out in those matters, I'm sure.
Okay, sir.
I think. So therefore, we have to be careful. Now tell me what grounds we are taking in reply to show cause notice and appeal. Are we taking the ground saying that the time of supply?
It is, yes, sir.
Their department is saying all corporate guarantee 31st March is the time of supply.
Yes, sir.
If you see the way they calculate interest.
Yes, sir.
Why people are agreeing to pay tax on corporate guarantee? Because they don't want to fight it. It is always creditable.
Yes, sir.
That is why the trade has got divided. Anyway, corporate client is a different issue altogether.
sir,
But I'm only saying that keep the case alive, file appeal, raise all the grounds, request for matter to be kept in call book if possible. Follow the decisions, cases that are filed already in various high courts, see how they develop.
Okay,
Because
sir.
even bad decisions come from Supreme Court,
Yes, sir.
which we will try to differentiate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And lastly, your conclusion on this 168A order, sir, which is going around for this time barred notice, sir.
Two aspects to consider. Force measure cannot give different dates for taxpayer and different dates for department. If 28/2/2022 was the last date for taxpayer, how can it be different for department?
Okay.
168A extended dates for the department beyond 28th February 2022. But for claiming refund, it is not saying. Now you see in Gujarat High Court, did they raise this discrimination ground? They have not raised.
Yes, sir.
Second, this government is so determined that they will go and change the law 6 times in 6 years retrospectively. So therefore, time barring notification itself being challenged, I feel is not being challenged on the right grounds. And knowing that this is how it is, this decision is not good because the grounds raised are, I feel, not good. But consider, knowing that it's the same government even now, it's unlikely that they will give up this fight. Anyway, now Kerala and Allahabad have held in favor of the government.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, I think this is a lost cause. It is sufficient to get a writ petition admitted in court. But relief in barutte.
I know, sir. That will be again one more pandemic.
No. See, my sense is if the limitation is upheld,
Yes, sir.
then they should not go into merits. But many times writ petitions are raised on all the possible grounds.
Yes, sir.
Limitation is the ground for maintainability. After that, 2A, 3B, 3B, 4B, you see what happened in those decisions. Andhra Pradesh High Court, Patna High Court and all those.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, be cautious.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to simply outsource your brains to some writ petition filed by somebody somewhere.
Correct.
You use it if it is to your advantage, if it aligns with your strategy, but please come up with your own strategy.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Nowadays, suitcase strategy also is working.
Yes, sir.
Suitcase strategy.
Yes, sir.
Many youngsters are becoming specialists in suitcase strategy in GST litigation. 15%, 30%, 40% strategy. Whatever works for the client.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. So I think this were the few of the thought process which we have to.
Only one question from my side for everyone to consider.
Yes, sir.
Each one should sort of answer to each one of us should answer to ourselves. We have seen notices, we have seen replies, we have seen orders. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good are the cases that we have to be carried to tribunal? Second, on a scale of 1 to 10, how is our skills to handle these cases in tribunal? I think all of us should ask ourselves that question and see if there are any corrective steps to be taken right now. If the matter is not already beyond 107 stage, if it is within 107 stage, what else can we do to strengthen the case in tribunal? Because success rate in adjudication and first appeal is very low. Please consider. Ashte.
So, but what do you suggest in terms is like to up the rating? And I'm sure people would be saying 2 to 3 or 4 to 5. What is that you suggest that we should do?
See, I think it is like, these film actors, or theater actors, they stand in front of mirror and, practice their dialogue delivery. I think we should all stand before mirror and keep practicing 2A, 3B, how we will argue, R1, 3B, how we will argue, 17.5. Keep practicing throughout, and whether you're driving, whether you're sitting at your desk, whether you're anywhere, in your mind, keep rehearsing how to present this case in a manner that advances your cause. We should continuously keep doing this.
Practice.
Got it.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your inputs. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir,
Anyone?
only one point. I just wanted to know, Tagar Vasudev case, I think the department has filed a SLP. So I wanted to know whether it is admitted. Anybody is having any update on that?
I had met Tagar Vasudev actually personally, and he said it is admitted. That's what he has said. And he said hearing is near. Shortly, the hearing will be listed. So I met him personally to understand how they have gone to the Supreme Court. So he has helped me to give certain things actually, that it is still pending and they are awaiting for the further hearing actually. So it is admitted. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
So all ladies hostel people, please be careful. Don't rely on this.
Yes.
All right. And then Madras
There
High
are
Court also is
PGs.
not good law.
Yes, sir. It's also not good actually. But many of them are relying on that, sir.
ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಮಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಗೆ only one bandage, fracture ಆದ್ರೂ bandage ಸಾಕು.
ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Yes, sir.
ಏನ್ Venu, you're saying something?
No, so in fact, a couple of people who had approached, and when I said tax liability, they went back and maybe 6 months later, when I checked, no sir, we got an opinion not applicable. And they're collecting around 25,000 rupees per person, per bed, per month.
Correct.
So I'm only worried like...
No. I'll tell you what, there are seniors in our profession who are to be blamed for giving these sorts of misleading opinions. Let us call it what it is. There are seniors in our profession who think that they will be relevant in the profession only if they give adventurous views. They are the people who are to be blamed for this. Let us not even hide behind senior, junior, alla illa. If you give wrong answer, you are wrong, whether you are senior or junior. And once you see someone who is 50 years old giving opinion that it is not taxable, what will a 30-year-old's opinion matter? But in study group, you give opinion what you believe is correct. Not because some uncle is thinking that it should not be taxable.
Yeah.
I blame a lot of seniors in our profession for giving wrong answers. You see how many have said on TDR there was no tax in up to 2019-20 they were saying, even after 4/18. How many have said TDR is land, it is never taxable?
Yeah.
What rubbish, what nonsense. How can you say it is taxable? Where are those people now? Why is nobody asking them those questions? They are happily computing RCM now. So please bear in mind, even elephant can trip sometimes. So therefore, you follow your interpretation. Don't outsource your interpretation to some judgment or some senior. Definitely not.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next
Thank you
session.
all. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.